All right, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lady Nika, and I don't know what the fuck this is. All I know is, y'all, I can't do a Queen's Court review this week because there was no Queen Court show. Now, this is what happened tonight, and I want to shout out the person on Facebook who sent me the link to Monique's Periscope to give me an idea of what exactly transpired. Because from where I was sitting on Facebook, it seemed like they were having some issues with the lighting, and then the sound was off, and then they kept having problems trying to Skype in Monique for this interview because her name was on the docket. Now, when it first came on, we noticed that they were having issues. You could tell the lighting was completely out. They looked like they was casket ready, bitch. Okay? They looked like they had on cremation number 5, 4, and 6, bitch. They looked at a mess. But, they were trying to get it together so that everyone could come on, they can carry the show, do call-ins and all of that stuff. Well, it kept messing up real bad. And from Monique's standpoint, she was broadcasting live on her Periscope. So I was able to hear how much difficulty Madison was having trying to get everything to work right. And in the long run, what happened was Khia appeared to be upset because they were having so many difficulties, and that to her, based on what I heard, she felt like it was going to be very unprofessional looking. And instead of her staying with Madison until the end of the show, she got upset and bailed. Now on Monique's side, like I said, this is what you don't see on live on Facebook or YouTube. What you see is Maddie crying. She's saying she's sorry. She just wanted it to be very professional looking, and she had spent some $2,000 of her own personal money in putting together tonight's docket, and she just wanted it all to be perfect, and it didn't come off like that. And from what she was saying, as she began to cry, she just wanted it to be perfect, and she was begging Khia to stay, but Khia was in her feelings, so she decided to leave. Now, here's my opinion on this. First of all, everybody wants to improve. Everybody wants to take their platform, if they have one, to another level. However, I honestly feel if they would have left it as it was, her and Khia in Maddie's goddamn living room, just talking to us from the laptop or whatever they were using, that's kind of one of the things I feel that she should have left alone. Leave it like that. As you grow your fan base more and more, then you may want to incorporate, different things that will enhance the videos that they're producing. But also, with these enhancements, you might have to pay somebody to come set that shit up for you. If you're not a tech savvy person, which I don't think nobody that's dealing with the Queen Court is necessarily tech savvy to that degree, okay? You have to get people in that's going to be, able to make your production go off properly. It just was a mess tonight. It really was a mess, and it was painful to watch Monique's Periscope of all that was going on prior to when they tried to come on live to Facebook and YouTube twice. You could see the frustration mounting with Maddie because she wanted it all to come together because they had been working on this for days. And today they worked on it from what Maddie said from 1 p.m. that afternoon until showtime, and things just did not go that well. So in the end, Maddie ended up getting frustrated because when she did try to start the interview without Khia and just do it anyway, it cut Monique off again. And I guess at that point, she's just frustrated and said that she would try to come back next week. Now, on Monique's end, she did ask Monique was it another day that they could do it, but Monique said she's been doing a lot of traveling. She's in a play, and, so she may not be able to come back and, do a rescheduled interview. Y'all, that shit just was crazy to me tonight. First of all, I can understand Khia and how she feels about things going right. But being that she's been in the business as long as she has been, one would think that Khia understands better than anybody how sometimes things just don't go according to plan. But what you don't do is you don't walk off and leave your co-host. You sit there with her. They should have ended that together. She shouldn't have never allowed her emotions to overcome her. And if this Queen's Court situation is getting bigger than what she wanted it to be, then you should have been saying something to Maddie. Now, this is not an attack on Khia at all, because y'all know I love me some Khia and Maddie. What I'm saying is, this is how it looks from the outside looking in. It looks like y'all rushed to try to change the look of the Queen's Court. You tried to upgrade too fast. You have to crawl before you walk. Khia been doing these roasting and gags of celebrities. She been doing that shit for years, because I used to watch her anyway. When they came up with the concept for the Queen's Court, people fell in love with it because it was it was more personal. It was a more personal, friendly atmosphere, if that makes sense to you guys. It was more, we enjoyed just them sitting in the living room just running it like a regular conversation between two good girlfriends or two sisters, and we just happened to be a part of the game to hear what they were talking about. Soon as they did that really, really good roast to Toya and the Generations and the Christmas show, when they came back with this set. And it was a lot of problems with the set. I'm not saying don't keep the set. What I'm saying is perfect it. And go back to what made people come and click on you in the first place. While you getting that together downstairs in the basement, continue to broadcast your shows live from the chateau, the marvelous chateau, the living room. And again, I was very disappointed in the fact that Khia walked off, because at the end of the day, that's your business. Y'all say y'all want to make $1 million in the basement. Well, then step your pussy up. You got to be ready for situations such as what went on tonight. Just because the aura was off for you don't mean that you necessarily had to walk out. I just thought that was wrong. You don't run out and leave her to finish the show because you feel like you got a bad vibe about tonight's show. Do you know how many times I'm sure Wendy Williams didn't feel like going out there and sitting in that purple chair and talking about people's business, especially when her own was in the midst of being in the headlines right then? Do you remember that? I do. I'm sure it's been times where, show hosts don't want to come on and do it that day. I know, because we human beings, each and every one of us had them days where we can't do it. We had them days as regular people when we wake up, we might not be feeling our best and don't feel like going to work. But because we got to pay them bills, we going to go on and go. I just was offended at the fact that she walked off and left Maddie. That's very unprofessional. I don't care how you feel about how things are going that night as far as y'all having them technical difficulties. There still was no reason for you to walk off and leave her by herself in that moment when you were supposed to be right there with her. This is supposed to be an adventure you both embarked upon, and it's not fair to Maddie if you walk off, Khia, for real. Now, I support you, bitch. I do. I buy your albums. But what happened tonight was totally unprofessional, and my heart just broke for Maddie, because I know that she is really trying to make this thing perfect. She's trying to make sure that everything goes off without a glitch, and the sad part about it is she putting more pressure on herself than what she really need to have. We know you, girl. We know you going to come with it. We know you going to be classy based with it and everything. But take your time to get that stuff together. It takes longer than a couple of days to pull off an interview like that. And it just didn't come to fruition tonight. That don't mean that you ain't never going to have a chance to put Monique on the docket and have that conversation with her. Maybe it just wasn't meant to happen tonight. Everything happened for a reason. And maybe you needed to not interview Monique tonight because God is setting up something to reveal even more to you about this particular situation. So don't see it as a defeat. Just see it as a learning experience for you. How to continue on when the lights and the cameras just not working right. That's what I have to say about tonight's Queen Court attempt. I hope you all that are watching me will give these ladies another chance next week. Hopefully they'll have talked by then and worked it out. Because there was no show tonight, I'm almost positive there may not be a podcast Friday morning for you to go and watch. The podcast usually consists of the after show. Once the Queen Course goes off of YouTube, Periscope, and wherever else they be broadcasting live from, they go on Instagram live from Maddie and Khia's Instagram feeds, and they take their questions then. So I don't know if they're gonna, try to actually film or tape their podcast this week and let that, work for us as far as our podcast of the week, or will they just start off fresh and new Monday. I hope that they can work past this. I really do. I want this to work out for them. I just think they had a bad experience, and Khia got too emotional about the situation instead of calming herself down and realizing this is a partnership. I can't walk out on her. She walked out on her. And I ain't appreciate the shit because I felt like it's unprofessional and she been in the game too long. Now I know when it comes to, playing ball, she didn't chose that she wasn't gonna do it, which is probably why her career has not taken off the way it should. However, this is a whole new day in a different situation. You were supposed to stay with your comrade to the end. You were supposed to be right there with her when she signed off and said, "Well, y'all, I'm sorry. We're gonna try this again next week." You were supposed to be right there with her. Nobody should have walked away and left her. Yeah, she might have been putting 20 on 10 and trying to do way too much too soon, but that's a person that wants to succeed. That drive and determination to just get money, bitch, will ride your ass. But that was it, y'all. I just wanted to come in and let y'all know based off what I seen and the research I did over the last couple of hours trying to figure out what went wrong. That's what it was. They had a whole lot of technical difficulties. Some words were said. Khia got in her feelings, and the interview never went off. Now, will Monique give them another chance to interview them? I don't know. I hope she do. But at the end of the day, like I said, everything happened for a reason. And you just got to have faith that it was a reason for that. And maybe if it's meant for you to know it, it'll be revealed to you in such time. But that's it, y'all. I'll be back in the morning with Love and Hip Hop Miami and Love and Hip Hop New York. But I wanted to come in and just let you guys know why there won't be a Queen's Court before people start putting their spins on it. As of right now, I haven't heard anything from T.S. Madison or Khia concerning this situation. You can keep checking with them on their social media sites. Maybe they'll say something about it in the next coming day or so. But that's what happened, y'all. Remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video wherever it is you share videos. And we're going to rock out again tomorrow. Peace.